Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Educated Calm Snap channel. How you doing? Now, I do want to say I didn't do it yesterday. I was like too into the intro, but sorry about that. Hopefully, I continue to remember for the future, and I do care, and hope you guys are doing well and fantastic. Now, today I wanted to talk about just the second dinner break and then the weekend missions. So we've had like a full month of weekend missions, and I just kind of want to talk about them, and as well as just the break, just kind of saying, yeah, they are doing it, and my thoughts about it. But first things first, I want to do the weekend missions first. I think that's something to be clear about. So we do have new weekend missions this week. They're win 20 matches, win 15 matches with Patriot, and then win 3 matches with Phoenix Force for 200 credits, 150 gold, 100 tokens. Blah, blah, blah. Something interesting this week is that the gold is tied to a Series 3 card this time. So normally the gold is tied to the season pass card, which would be Phoenix Force. But for this particular week, the first week, there is no new card coming out, right? The first weeks are usually pretty blah or pretty they're focused on the season pass card, and then the next weeks they start adding the new cards for the month. So I think it's pretty interesting to do that. And then the credits and tokens are well, the tokens are changed, but the credits aren't changed. Now, I wanted to show all of the 4 weekend missions we've had so far. So there have been some interesting adjustments, right? Obviously, the tokens have been adjusted consistently consistently down, but the gold has remained the same, and the credits have also remained the same, except for that 1 week where it was 150 1,500 season pass exp. Now, first thing I want to talk about is that I think it's a good idea to not tie the gold to the season pass for the first week. You do need to have something for the token slot, and it's fine to make it the season pass card. And I think this just helps some players get back gold from the spotlight changes. So this is a new addition, right? You're getting 150 gold a week. That's definitely particularly new, but the major issue with that is that you have to buy the season pass, right? So if that wasn't the case, right, it'd be more understandable that gold reduction change. But for most players, right, who are buying the season pass, it's fine for you. But I like that there's an opportunity for people that don't have the season pass to still get some gold back. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's a good idea if you continue doing that for the first week, since there's no new card besides the season pass being added. Makes sense to make it the token value and then give everyone a chance. Well, everyone with the through Series 3 card a chance to get some gold. So I'm happy with this. Sometimes we as community members and stuff like that, we only talk about the drama or the negative stuff coming out. And I think that's a little bit unfortunate. I think this is like a good idea. And happy about this. Golf claps here. Now, I do want to say I'm hoping that the weekend rewards for season pass, like the EXP, was a misstep, right? Like they were in break, I believe, when this came out, so maybe they just didn't want to bother changing it. But I just don't think players that complete the weekend mission need extra exp, right? The players that are doing the weekend missions and like playing 20 extra games and stuff like that, they're doing this because they've done everything else, right? So they will have enough to get to 50, which is usually where these things like matter. Once you get there, my video will be ignored, but normally you're getting boosters and stuff like that. So another thing about awarding season pass exp is that it really only helps the people that bought the season pass, because if you are playing a little bit and you're like maybe 30 exp or 30 level, and then you go from 30 to 33 or something, right, you might not even get any free rewards. So this exp only benefits the like really benefits the paying players. And it usually the people that are doing this already have all the XP they need. So I'm hoping this was just like an accident, and it seems next week or this week they did revert it back. So hopefully that it just sticks to the credit rewards moving forward. So yeah, I'm not gonna judge them too much for that one. Something interesting, unfortunate, is like the likelihood that we get 1,000 token weekend mission might never happen again. Like at least with this new spotlight system, I think most likely when they did this first one with Silk, they had not fully fleshed out their spotlight system. They were just trying to encourage people to buy the new cards because it always felt too expensive. You'd rather just wait for it to drop down. So they were trying to encourage that behavior. And with the new spotlight system, right, your tokens aren't as relevant, so you don't technically need to get 1,000 token kickback since you're not spending tokens to get the cards. So I think very likely we're going to only be seeing 100, 300 tokens, that kind of thing moving forward. So I think that's a little bit unfortunate, but I also understand the nature of the beast, right? If you're giving 1,000 gold every time, it would be a bit ridiculous since you're not spending the gold to get the card. Now I do want to talk about the new features, like the addition of this weekend missions and the addition of the 200 gold from the metal shop actually gives you back the 800 gold we're losing in the spotlight system. So you were getting 150 gold per week, which is 600 gold over the 4 weeks, and then you get the 200 gold from the metal shop. So overall, we do get the 800 gold that we lost from the spotlight system with these new weekend features and the conquest mode. So that's pretty good. The issue here is that it's really only benefiting season pass players, because 600 gold, it might be 450 if they keep making a series 3 card the gold for the first week. That would be cool. So it would be like 450 gold is taken from everyone's account and moved to the season pass players account, right? So I have thought that the season pass, like if you ignore the new card you're getting, is not super worth it, and this might like tip the scales if you add 450 extra gold on top of the 900 that you're already getting for getting the season pass. Like this might be, oh yeah, you should just get the pass because the gold is worth it reward kind of structure. So that's definitely interesting. It's kind of a hidden benefit, I guess. Like if you're just a new player, you're not really gonna know that you're losing like an extra 400 600 gold by not buying the pass, right? So it's definitely something you're gonna have to learn or know if you like start the game later on. But for most players and players that are buying the season pass, you are just getting the gold in a different way, essentially. So yes, you're losing the 800 gold, but you're getting it back through the weekend missions, through the conquest mode. So I think that's interesting. It's not too bad. Like you're getting the gold back. So all in all, nothing's changed in terms of what we had before. But some people always like talking about the losses, right? And then the second part is just the second dinners being on the team-wide break. So they've been on the break, I think it's like 10 days or so, but they should be back on Monday. And overall, I think it's a good thing to have this break. It's just that a lot of times when you are, in game design or any project, right, you kind of get so full into it, and you think, oh, if you leave for a while, everything's gonna go bad, everything's gonna die. So this is like their first break that they've done, and it's just good, I think, for them to know that, oh, they can take a break, they can stop doing anything, and the game will still survive. When they come back, people will still be here. And so I just think it's a good like mental exercise for them, to maybe reduce some stress and have some time off. So I'm generally fine with this kind of thing overall. I just do think the timing is a little rough, just because there's a lot going on, right? There's definitely other windows of breaks where there wasn't this much to go on, so people wouldn't have like a lot of reactions of why they having a break at this time, just because like they announced a new spotlight system, which is a whole new progression system, and people have questions, right? So they did have the creator Q&A, but that was that was before we really like dive deep into it, and I definitely think the questions would be better. Obviously, I asked a lot of questions, but uh, now I would have more yeah, I would have better questions at this point. So it would be helpful to talk it through while we're still um, looking at the system and really like refining it before it officially comes out. And then we have the so compensation issues, right? I think once they come back, they'll start working on it, but it has been a while since they've talked about it or mentioned it, right? And people always like talking about it, but it is rough timing in that department. And then we have the series drop announcements, and then the July spotlight system drop announcements, right? So those two in particular, I actually did assume we would know by now. We would know the details because they did mention in their post that they plan to announce the weekly spotlight reward pool at the start of each season, right? So um, that would have been a couple days ago, right? So uh, they are in break, but I would have hoped that they would know that it was coming up and announced it, had it planned ahead of time or had someone, go and do that work if they forgot that kind of thing. But they haven't really announced that. They also did talk about the series drops, how they would announce any series drops at least 2 weeks in advance of it happening. And since series drops are dictated by the patch, we should have known the series drops before they came out, right? Before they got on break, but that didn't happen. So due to that, the scary reality might be that there's no series drops this patch. Now it's not guaranteed, right? So hopefully the comments are like, oh my god, they aren't doing that. But realistically, right, we should have known since 2 weeks ago they could have told us what the series drops were, or at least before they went to break, at least like release the information since they know they're going on break, that kind of thing. But that didn't happen, so it's a little bit scary. But I'm not going to react to that until we have the details, until the patch comes out, and then we know like, oh, this. But for now, I do understand the break, so I'm not too worried. There's really nothing to do but wait, and hopefully we'll get the details on Monday. That should be the day they come back, so that should be a pretty day for creators and stuff like that, and everyone to really start seeing what the details will be around the series drops, around the spotlight system. I was definitely hoping that we could talk about, oh, this like this and this and this is what we should be looking for or saving for, or these drops, make this relevant, blah 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 blah. But there's none of that was happening, and I was a little bit disappointed personally that we didn't get that information. But hopefully on Monday, in just a couple more days, we'll have that information. So it's not too bad, just a couple more days of waiting. But I did want to talk about it. Maybe in another break, they'll have more experience and they'll be able to kind of release information ahead of time if they know they're going on a break. So maybe this is just a learning experience for them. But I did want to talk about the break and just some people's thoughts, because some people, I do get comments from you guys and stuff, and people were complaining about it. And I think there is some justification to it, but also, it's just a game, right? We're trying to have fun and enjoy ourselves here. So, just being patient for a couple extra days isn't the end of the world. What really matters is what they do reveal once they come back from the break, right? Like, so that's really what we're waiting for here. And then the weekend missions, I think overall it's a good step, right? They want more people to play during the weekends. It's not necessarily free to play friendly, right? It's the main goal of it is profit. Even though we aren't losing any rewards, free to play players are losing 450 to 600 gold, right? Which is relevant, but hopefully the spotlight system makes up for that kind of thing, and it doesn't matter all too much. So that's my thoughts. Just wanted to talk about it really. So hope you guys enjoy. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderful rest of your day. Where's my button? There it is.
Get it calling snap. Once you watch him, you won't go back. He'll teach you to marvel snap. Your skills will be improving. How you doing? You'll hit infinity.